In today's review, we are going to take a look at Payoneer. Now, as for the overview, we are going to talk about the origin story of Payoneer, as well as the pricing, fees and ATM features for their Payoneer debit card, as well as the exchange rates and if your funds are actually safe. Now, right after that, we're going to talk about the availability, ease of use, as well as customer satisfaction, and at the end I will show you some additional features that Payoneer is going to offer so that you can see the pros and cons of Payoneer, so that you actually know if it's worth going for a Payoneer account yourself. Now, to get started, Payoneer actually was founded in 2005, and basically it was founded with the goal of simplifying international payments for business and as well as for individuals basically. Now the company has since grown, becoming a leading global financial platform, and they have many great features which I want to cover in this video. Now first of all, they have a freelancer as well as a business option. So basically either way, if you just want to use it yourself or if you want to use Payoneer as a business, you are going to be served right here. Now as you can see right here, basically the statement of Payoneer is that you will have to think business payments, think Payoneer. Now they have tons of great features and already millions of customers worldwide, over 70 currencies supported, as well as over 190 countries covered and 22 languages. Now as for the availability, I have to say this is really good, and for example other big players like Wise or Remitly don't have that many currencies, I think, so this is actually pretty good. Now first of all, why do businesses with Payoneer? First of all, you are going to keep more of what you will earn essentially, because Payoneer doesn't actually take a lot of fees, however more on that later on, and you will also have other features which we are all going to cover in this video. Now, Payoneer is going to be useful for freelancers, businesses, marketplaces, and so on. However, you can also just use it to handle payments yourself. Now Payoneer is going to be useful for freelancers, businesses, as well as marketplaces. However, you can also just use it for yourself to basically just process all of your payments. Now, as for the fees, this is obviously the thing that we care the most about. Payoneer has pretty fair fees, and you can see them right here. So first of all, if you're going to send money to another Payoneer account, the fees are going to be free essentially. Now if you're going to directly send it to your client's bank account, you will have to pay either 3% for the credit card or 1% for ACH bank deposits, which is going to be US only obviously. Now if you are going to directly use it by marketplace and networks, the fees are then set for that exact marketplace. Now if you are going to receive your accounts via your receiving accounts, as for Euro, Great British Pound and some more, it is going to be free, but for US dollars you will actually have to pay 1%. Now if you're then going to, once you've received these funds, if you're then going to pay and use these funds, it also gets a little bit complicated, but just bear with me. Now once again, if you have the funds and if the recipient has a Payoneer account, the fees are going to be free. But if the recipient doesn't have a Payoneer account, you will have to pay up to 2%. Also a fixed fee will apply when you use US dollars, euros or Great British Pounds to basically balance the payments. Now as you can see, these fees aren't going to be a lot, however there is still something which you will have to keep in mind. It is just going to be 1.5 US dollars, euros or Great British Pounds. Now if you're going to go for a Payoneer card, they do have basically a MasterCard card which you can use to pay around the world. And one thing which I want to mention is that Payoneer actually allows no fee purchases. So basically you can spend your money online in stores, US dollar, Euro, Great British Pound and as well as Canada's currency. Now, and this is completely free in all of the supported countries. That means you don't actually have to pay for an exchange rate. So basically if you're going to go abroad, if you're going to travel for example, you won't actually have to pay for that. Now as for the global acceptance, you can simplify your business expenses by paying for everything using the Payoneer card. Now as for the fees, these are pretty straightforward. As for the card delivery, for standard delivery this is going to be free. For express shipping, 40 US dollars. Now the annual card fees for the first card are going to be 30 US dollars. This is annual. Now as for the additional cards in any currency, this is going to be free. Now, if you want to actually pay with transactions in the same currency as your card in supported countries, this is going to be free. However, in non-supported countries, you will actually have to pay up to 3.5%. So sorry, my mistake. You will actually have to pay for spending money abroad. So if you're going to Thailand, for example, then you will have to pay additional fees in that local currency, which isn't the case for other competitors basically, but more on that later on. Now, as for the other transactions where the merchant country is different from the card issuing country, you will have to pay up to 1%. Now, as for ATM withdrawals, so basically cash, you will have to pay these fees right here. Balance and query are also going to be these fees right here, and you will also have to pay for card replacements. Now, one of the biggest selling points of Payoneer is their multi-currency account system. So basically, with their Payoneer account, you will just have the one account with all of the different currencies that you want to have. As you can see, they will basically support all sorts of currencies that you can basically think of. Now, you can trade without trade-offs, and basically this is super useful if you are a freelancer, for example, or also if you are a business, and if you're going to receive a lot of money in different currencies, you can then just use that money to either just pay, or you can also use that money to directly withdraw your funds. So now you can just instantly withdraw all of your earnings directly to your bank account in over 190 countries, which I think is not that bad at all. Now, as for the business features, Payoneer is also going to allow you to open up a business account, as I've already mentioned beforehand, and you will get tons of different features by doing so. Now, as I think most of you won't actually need the business account, I will not actually go over that. However, if you want me to make a separated video on that, let me know in the comments. And also, if you find this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Now, as for the Payoneer's reviews, these are actually pretty good. As you can see, they have a rating of over 4 stars, which definitely is on the better side. So basically, as you can see, PayPal actually only has 1.5 stars. Now, I think this is actually pretty good. If you're going to see, compared to Wise, this is also basically on the same level. Now, one thing which I would like to mention is that although Payoneer doesn't actually have a banking license, basically, they have multi-jurisdictional licenses, which basically just means that Payoneer is obligated to protect all of your funds and also to prevent money laundering. So your money is somewhat safe. Now, let's now get to the pros and cons so that you will actually know if it's worth going for a Payoneer account. Now, as for the pros, this obviously is the global accessibility. Now, I think this is actually pretty good also compared to Wise. Basically, with Payoneer, you can use it anywhere around the world, and also they have pretty competitive exchange rates. Now, I think on some cases they are lower than on Wise. However, for the most cases, it is actually the cheapest one in the market, if I'm not mistaken. Now, as for basically the platform is super user friendly, and they also have positive customer feedback. Now, the additional features like prepaid cards and mass payouts are also pretty useful. Now, as for the cons, fees are going to apply for certain transactions, and the exchange rates and fees can vary based on specific transaction details, which can be a little bit complicated to get started with. So make sure to review the fee structure to make an educated guess yourself to find out if it's actually worth going for a Payoneer account. Now, either way, you can find my review for Wise as well as Remitly right here to find out if it's actually worth going for either of these accounts over Payoneer. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found it helpful.